The world isn't kind to the weak. Strength, both physical and mental, is what separates those who command respect from those who are trampled over. To become a person who can navigate the harsh realities of life, you need to embrace and integrate your darker side. Let me break it down for you. 1. Accept your darkness. Part of spiritual development is recognizing the darker aspects of yourself, the shadow. These aren't traits you should cast away. Instead, you need to wrestle with them, integrate them, and transmute them. The difference between someone who has integrated their shadow and someone who hasn't is stark. Those who haven't are naive, often resentful because they get taken advantage of. Those who have embraced their shadow are dangerous, not in a reckless way, but in a controlled, martial way. Look at the difference between someone harmless and someone who radiates the potential for havoc. The latter commands respect effortlessly. Their very presence signifies that they are not to be trifled with. This isn't about being aggressive or cruel. It's about embodying an undeniable potential. This is what gives people true self-respect. If you want to be taken seriously, you need to develop this aspect of yourself. 2. Be a predator, not a rabbit. A rabbit isn't virtuous. It's just harmless and easy prey. If you're harmless, you're not virtuous. You're just like a rabbit. True virtue comes from having the capacity for monstrous behavior, but choosing not to act on it. Look at characters like Harry Potter or Batman. They are deeply flawed. They have the capacity for great harm, but they control it and use their power for good. This is a recurring theme in mythology and fiction. The hero must be a monster, but a controlled monster. To be effective in life, you need to be capable of inflicting harm, but you also need the wisdom to know when and how to use that power. This isn't about being evil, it's about being capable. In martial arts, for example, you're trained to be a fighter, not to harm others recklessly, but to have the capacity to defend yourself and those you care about. The goal is to avoid fights, but if a fight is inevitable, you need to be prepared to win. 3. Be responsible. For too long, society has fed us a diet of rights without responsibilities. This has left a void in our lives. Real fulfillment comes from embracing responsibility. This isn't just about your well-being, but about putting your family together, serving your community, and seeking eternal truths. These responsibilities ground you and give your life meaning. Without responsibility, life is a series of impulsive pleasures that vanish at the first sign of trouble. To withstand life's difficulties, you need a foundation built on responsibility. When you accept this, you find a resilience that mere happiness cannot provide. It's a hard truth, but a necessary one. 4. Competence means respect. Competence has been unfairly equated with tyranny. This narrative has been especially hard on young men, but also on young women. It's crucial to understand that making yourself competent and dangerous is essential. It's the alternative to being weak, and weakness is never a virtue. Weak people, those who can't handle the realities of life, often end up bitter and dangerous in a destructive way. To avoid this fate, you need to develop the capacity to be dangerous. This doesn't mean being cruel or tyrannical, it means being formidable and peaceful. The phrase, "the meek shall inherit the earth," is often misunderstood. The original meaning is closer to, those who have swords and know how to use them but keep them sheathed will inherit the world. You need to be powerful and then choose to be peaceful. This order is crucial. 5. Control your anger. Being told to be harmless, to not be too aggressive or assertive, is a recipe for disaster. You need to be a monster, a controlled monster. This means developing the capacity for aggression and then learning how to control it. If you're incapable of cruelty, you're a victim to anyone who is. People are drawn to anti-heroes and villains because these characters embody the integration of the monster within. This gives them strength and self-respect. You can't respect yourself until you acknowledge your capacity for danger. Once you realize this, you're more likely to demand respect from others and to treat yourself with respect. 6. Learn martial arts. Martial arts philosophy is a perfect example of this concept. Training in martial arts isn't about becoming a brawler. It's about developing the strength to avoid fights. When you know you're capable of defending yourself, you exude a confidence that often deters potential aggressors. Bullies back off when faced with someone who displays dominance and confidence. This is why integrating your shadow is so important. It gives you the strength to maintain peace. 7. Understanding the human shadow. Carl Jung's concept of the shadow is crucial here. The shadow includes all those aspects of yourself that you don't want to acknowledge. These traits are part of what makes you human. Understanding your shadow is essential for controlling it. When you study the perpetrators of historical atrocities, you realize they were ordinary people just like you. This realization is terrifying but necessary. Facing your shadow isn't about following bliss or seeking happiness. It's about confronting the parts of yourself you least want to face. This journey is difficult, but it's the path to true enlightenment and wisdom. If everyone followed their bliss, the world would be full of wise people. Instead, it's about confronting and integrating the parts of yourself that are capable of great harm. 8. Respect yourself through discipline. Recognizing your capacity for evil strangely leads to greater self-respect. You learn to treat yourself with the respect you'd show a wild animal or a monster. This understanding helps you discipline yourself and others more effectively. When you know you're capable of havoc, you avoid provoking yourself and others. Disciplining children, for example, becomes easier when you understand your darker side. You don't want to expose your children to your dark side, so you discipline them to behave well. This ensures they behave for others too, keeping the monstrous part of you in check. If you don't recognize this aspect of yourself, you might unconsciously harm those around you, especially children. 9. Embrace your power. Being dangerous means understanding your capacity for harm and controlling it. This is far better than being weak and naive. Weak people are at the mercy of those who are capable of cruelty. By embracing your power and controlling it, you protect yourself and others. This understanding is crucial for personal development and spiritual growth. 10. It is the best guarantee of peace. Strength, not weakness, is the best guarantee of peace. By developing your monstrous side and integrating it, you create a formidable presence that deters potential threats. This is why understanding your shadow is so important. It gives you the power to maintain peace and avoid unnecessary conflicts. If you like the content, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment on whether you agree with being a dangerous man.